Prince Lucius pulls Sonoria from his father's throne room, watching as her gaze roams the details of the castles with curious observation. He'd seen this castle every day for his entire life, but seeing the curiosity and intrigue light up her gaze made him want to see it in the way that this mysterious yet achingly beautiful woman did. The guards and the servant staff cast curious glances toward them, no doubt recognizing that Sonoria was not someone they had ever seen before. Lucius felt a sense of possessive pride at knowing this unique beauty was his, only his. He wanted to know everything about her and the kingdom that she had come from. As he led her through the kingdom, showing her the countryside and the markets alike, he couldn't help the way his adoration for her grew exponentially. Her chocolate eyes lit up with such a genuine wonder and admiration, almost reverent in quality. This unknown mystery was such a gentle soul, and that knowledge made his chest swell with affection in a way he'd never known possible. The way she reacted to the sights, the sounds, even the taste of the foods, it was so innocent that it made Lucius want to pull her close and keep her safe by his side forever. As the sun began to set, Lucius led Sonoria through the palace gardens, having returned to the castle. The reverence in her gaze made his chest tight with affection, but there was a longing there in her eyes as well that made his heart twist. There was something she was missing. "What is it, dear one?" he asked softly, reaching out to brush a strand of chestnut hair behind her ear. It was soft as silk beneath his fingers, and it made him want more. She stiffened at his touch, sending a pang of hurt through Lucius. However, she didn't pull away, which gave him a sense of hope. "The stars are different here," Sonoria murmured, a gentle yearning etched across her features. "The constellations I know aren't there." A soft sigh of resignation before her gaze met his, vulnerable yet accepting. "I suppose that's to be expected, though." Lucius' brow furrowed as he felt a tinge of confusion. "What do you mean, dear one?" "Capricorn, Pisces, Aquarius, the 12 zodiacs," she said, seeming almost pained or maybe frustrated. "Orion, Delta Leonis, they're not there." "Zodiacs?" Lucius echoed, the word she said sounding foreign to him. Sonoria nodded, humming softly in confirmation. The zodiacs played a major part in astrology. Lucius' brows shot up in surprise. "You studied astrology?" "Yes, for 9.5 years," she confirmed, seeming almost passionate about the topic. "It must be a bit different here if the 12 zodiacs don't exist." "The astrology I know is based upon the 13 houses of energy, each represented by constellations such as the Storm of Chaos or the Trials of Love," Lucius told her, wondering just how different the astrology she knew was. "It was much different where I'm from," Sonoria told him, brushing the chestnut bangs back from her face. "There were 12 houses represented by the 12 zodiacs, such as Capricorn, Scorpio, or Gemini, each with their own meaning. Each planet and celestial body had its own meaning that combined with the zodiacs to reveal a person's inner workings." Lucius was riveted. The way she spoke with such passion and reverence, it was almost mesmerizing, making a possessive hunger coil in his gut. This woman was not only gentle, kind, and innocent, she was also intelligent, and divination required a certain level of intuition and wisdom. Another wave of possessive pride crashed over him as he remembered that this was the woman he had chosen to marry. His future wife was amazing. "Our astrology is similar," Lucius found himself telling her. "The celestial bodies combine with the 13 houses of energy to reveal the inner workings of a person's aura." A pause. "What about compatibility?" he asked, his chest tightening with hope as his fingers brushed her cheek. Her skin was so soft, and he couldn't help wanting to keep this captivating woman as close to himself as possible. That's determined best by Eros and Psyche, she replied after a moment of thought. Eros, Psyche, he knew those terms. Perhaps their worlds had some similarities after all. And what are yours? He asked, all but holding his breath as a kind, almost fond smile pulled at her lips. Libra and Scorpio, Sonoria replied in a soft murmur. Lucius' brow furrowed as he tried to piece together what that meant. A soft chuckle escaped as she seemed to recognize his confusion. Libra is represented by the scales, she explained. It is the sign of balance, equality in all measures, fairness and justice. Like the scales of balance in our astrology, Lucius murmured, noticing the similarities. Sonoria's head tilted with a flicker of intrigue crossing her gaze. That's your Eros, right? He asked, prompting her to continue. Sonoria nodded in response before continuing her explanation. And Scorpio is the sign of passion and intensity, represented by the scorpion. Like the sting of passion. Lucius breathed, his mind racing to understand what this told him about the mysterious woman in front of him. She loved in the form of duality, loving the light as much as the dark. She gave as much as she got and was deeply hurt by imbalance, and her mind, it must be full of such intense passion and depth. She thrived in uncertain circumstance, tests causing her mind to expand rather than to simply break. All of this only made him admire her even more, his pride at knowing she was his growing. May I see your poem? Lucius asked suddenly, wanting to see what the lines of her hand would say. Her head tilted curiously as she held her hand out, palm up. Palmistry? Lucius nodded, taking her hand with a reverent touch. His fingers traced the lines gently, as if touching something delicate and divine. And what does my poem tell you? Sonoria prompted gently, her chocolate eyes reflecting the starlight as she watched him. A long life with a complicated journey, he observed, his voice almost intimate in tone as he traced the lines of her hand. You've experienced much pain, heartbreak. His heart twisted at the thought of what she could have gone through. Then his gaze flicked up to meet hers with an intensity bordering on devotion, and a burning passion deeper than any other. A soft chuckle left her lips as Sonoria nodded. I can confirm the passion for certain, she said softly, something almost reverent and grateful in her gaze. Lucius' head tilts curiously. How so? Sonoria took a step back, her gaze on the ground. When those chocolate eyes met his again, Lucius' breath was taken away as he watched her adjust the glasses she wore. He'd never felt anything like it before, and his jaw had dropped as he began to feel it. Her energy was so full of contradictions that it made him question how such a person could exist. Light and dark, gentle and strong, kind and ruthless. It felt both white-hot and burning cold, shifting with every emotion possible, physically, all at once. And it held a depth of wisdom, acceptance, understanding, affection, and passion, unlike any he had ever seen. This woman. There was a reason I told His Majesty that I don't know what I am capable of, Sonoria said softly, her tone pulling Lucius from his thoughts as her hand unconsciously touched her heart in a way that made his chest tighten with an unnameable emotion. This world is entirely new to me. I don't know what my energy can do here, only what it did in my world, to some extent. I still had so much to learn, but I'm sure I can use what I know to learn this world's magic.